Good. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 50 of the 72 review. He has got his party hat on. We will take it. We've hit a huge milestone, the half century. I didn't expect it, but it is down to you guys who watch it and interact with us. And obviously, we always say if one person's watching on a Sunday, that's enough for us. We did it last week where we did a pre-record and it flowed just as well. Hopefully YouTube and my internet hold out today and we get a live show and get that interaction with you guys. But yeah, it's Sunday therapy for us, especially with the teams that we support. We need it, I think. But
we do.
Not too bad a week for us this week. I'm not sure if Jake's coming on. It's a bit 50-50 if he's going to make it or not. But we do have a couple of usual faces that you may know. Obviously, we've got Ian next to me. So Ian, let people know who you are, what you do and why you do it.
Yeah, I'm a 61-year-old Rotherham season ticket holder that should know better, but I don't. And when the Millers are away, I go around the country vlogging for Over the Bar YouTube channel. And just lately, I've vlogged last two Millers home games. I put one on today, so against QPR. So, if you've got a bit of spare time, watch it, please.
Get over and watch that. Lovely stuff. And below me with his party hat on is Lee from Around the Grounds. Let people know who you are, what you do and why you do it, mate.
Before I do all that, I just want to say congratulations, 50th episode, Dan. Absolute credit to you. Without you, it wouldn't be possible to be even on this show. So I had to go out and don the party hat and just celebrate. I did look for a little bit of stream, everything, but hey, we'll have to make do with that. It looks a bit like, yeah, but no, massive credit to you, mate, because you're an absolute star of the show, and you make this live so good. And the reason I wanted to do it because I absolutely love being on it, and I just thank you, mate.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And so I'm Lee, Around the Grounds. Ground hopper when I'm not at Sheffield Wednesday supporting my club. I don't always look like this with a party hat on, by the way. I'm ground hopping. You'll have to excuse me today because I've got a rotten cold, so if I'm keep blowing my nose, apologise. But yeah, we live to fight another day, and happy 50th show, mate.
Hopefully another 50 and a big 100 coming up.
Yeah,
probably in about 6-7 months. I don't know.
Yeah,
we will see. Yeah. With it being the 50th show, we will obviously go through, as we normally do, Championship football this weekend and FA Cup round 1. So we'll have a chat about those. Obviously, Rotherham against QPR. Ian will take that one. Bristol City against Sheffield Wednesday. Lee will take that, or Jake if he comes on. We'll have a look at the Championship and then we'll move on to the FA Cup, where Donny drew 2-2 against Accrington. Lee, you went to Lincoln against Morecambe and Chesterfield against Portsmouth. So we'll say a few words with that. But we want to give you guys the opportunity to come on and have a chat about your clubs as well. So you will find towards the top of the chat, and I will keep on popping it in as the show goes on, the link to this StreamYard. So by all means, if you feel comfortable and confident enough, join us. We'll get you on. All we ask is that you remain respectful. Don't put anything stupid on your screen. I've been on live streams before where it does that, and unfortunately it does stop the live stream from happening. But if you want to have a chat about your club, it'd be great to have you on because, like we say, you guys drive the show with the comments. So get yourselves on and talk about your club. You're more than welcome. Going through some of the comments that have come in already, we've got Burton. Evening, lads. I'm well. Obviously, Lee isn't 100%, but he's here.
Well, yeah, lost plot. Got me that on.
And I think Ian's pretty happy as well.
I'm fine. Yeah.
He's also said thanks for all your hard work. It is an absolute pleasure. ATID, imagine being in the first and second rounds of the FA Cup. Yeah, it's not for everybody, mate, but we'll take it. We've got John Evening.
That the only way we get into third round is getting in the championship, because when we're in League One, we always lose in the first round anyway.
He's also said, also imagine not scoring and conceding 3 goals this weekend. Well, there we go. Thomas O'Reilly has said that Doncaster or Accrington are heading to Peterborough or Salford. It's one of those, we were talking before the show started. It's not a glamorous tie, is it? It's one of those where if we do get past Accrington, it's probably the end of the road of the FA Cup. But out of the two, I think I'd go with Peterborough, because there's a little bit of spice with the Grant McCann, Darren Ferguson story in the dugouts, which I think could add a bit of extra something to that cup tie. We've got Lizzie, says, good evening, boys. She is away with work, so this is entertaining her. Lovely. And then Adam, be free in about 20 minutes. So yeah, we'll still be on, mate. I will pop the StreamYard link periodically as we go through. Get yourselves on and have a chat. Liam straight in. I wonder who Exeter and Pompey got in the second round of the FA Cup. Oh wait, they're not in. Liam, you're more than welcome on to have a chat about Plymouth in the draw from this weekend. The link to the StreamYard is at the top. And with that being said, let's get the page on, and we will start with the 1-1 draw for Rotherham against QPR. Ian, talk us through this one. You were with Prawn Sarni Brigade and everything, weren't you?
Yeah, really unexpected. An ex-schoolmate of mine met me outside the ground, and he said, I've got a spare ticket for hospitality. Do you fancy it? So I said, well, of course I do. So I had a nice meal. I had a nice drink or two, and padded seats on the halfway line, so I'm well happy. The game itself, it really was pretty poor. I mean, it were two out of form, unconfident sides going at it, and I think from both sides, I think there were a fear of losing, if you know what I mean. I mean, there were a goal apiece, and the both goals were really high quality goals. Ilias Chair cut him from the left hand side and bent one round to Johansson. Lovely goal. Put the Rangers ahead in the 50th minute, and then we struggled a little bit, Rotherham, and then we got a lovely equaliser when a Cohen Bramwell free kick was volleyed in first time by substitute Georgie Kelly. Both sides hit the woodwork. Both keepers made decent saves at times in the game. Johansson a couple of times, and also Begovic. So it sounded like a decent game, but really and truly, it weren't that good a game at all. But I'm delighted that we got something out of it, because that puts us on double figures for the season. We're on 10 points now. But there's still a lot of work to be done, and we've got some really difficult fixtures ahead. Our next 3 fixtures are at home to Ipswich on Tuesday night. We're away at Watford the following Saturday, and then the Friday after that we're at home to Leeds. So it doesn't get any easier.
No, it's a tough old run, mate, isn't it?
It is tough, but I mean, to be honest, I mean, we're in the Championship. We're going to have a bash at it. We don't expect much. All we expect is a little bit of fight and determination. And there were a lot more of that yesterday than there were at Hillsborough the Sunday before. So we got a shift out of the players, which you can accept. You can accept that. And we got a point. So yeah, I'm reasonably happy about that.
Yeah, I'm looking at table before we came on air, and it's looking tough for Rotherham, QPR, and Sheff Wednesday down at the bottom, isn't it? There's a 5-point gap between third bottom and fourth bottom, Huddersfield. Is it too early to call that bottom 3 as probably the 3 that are going to go down? Do you think there's a chance of 1 or 2 of those flipping the form around and having a run?
Either one of Rotherham, Wednesday, or QPR could catch Huddersfield, because Huddersfield are in no sort of form at all. I mean, they got a point against Watford, which was acceptable. That was a really good point that they got against Watford. But they're in pretty poor form themselves. I think it's going to be any three from them four, even start of November.
Yeah.
I mean, but like I said, either one of Rotherham, Rangers or Wednesday could put a run of form together. Yeah, I know that, Liam. I know. Yeah, and I know what you're like at home park. And you know what we're like away from home as well. So what we'll do, we'll go to home park and set up for a 0-0, and Morgan Witter will score his first minute or something.
ATID.
Yeah, we know where we are. We know we are. We know where we are in the championship food chain, if you know what I mean. We've got the lowest, probably one of the lowest average crowds, lowest budget. But we'll make the best of it. And if we end up in League One, so be it. So be it. It's not going to stop me from going. I don't think it'd stop a lot of Rotherham fans from going. I think we're more realistic.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we're going to enjoy it while it's there.
Yeah. HID said that their defence is going to keep them well intact with the bottom three, non-league at best. So not too confident with their defence.
We might get a corner then. We might get a corner at home.
Liam's come in. I think that it could be the bottom three. Don't think Argyle will be involved in that bottom three because our own form will be strong for it, in his opinion. It's just taking points where they can away from home. So I think you've mentioned that before as well, Ian, that your home form's pretty good, but the away form is that dreadful that the home form isn't going to be good enough. Yeah,
it's not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
I think our home form, puts us about 14th or 15th in the division, but as away form, bottom.
Yeah, it does.
So you have to pick up draws, don't you? At least away.
Yeah. We only won when we survived last season. We only won 2 away games, but we drew 11, and that's the difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference, isn't it? ATID or Liam, if you want to come on and talk Plymouth against Middlesbrough, you're more than welcome. 50th episode, we are inviting whoever wants to come on for a chat about their clubs. So rather than bombarding me with comments, get you sent on and have a chat if you feel comfortable. If not, carry on bombarding me with comments and I will try and get them up and read them out for you. In the meantime, let's move on to Bristol City against Sheffield Wednesday. If we can find it, there we go.
I think you've got a question, Dan. Is that Matty? Who's your favourite player? Donny Rovers, I think he asked.
Tell you what, I will put that out to the panel. We'll start with Ian. Favourite player in a Rotherham shirt. I'm going to guess Johansson, but
It's got to be Victor Johansson. It's got to be. He's a goalkeeper that's far too good for the Championship, and I think we probably will lose him in January. But he's in the middle of a 3-year contract, so we won't we won't get peanuts for him. We'll go for a big fee. But we're resigned to that. But he's a wonderful goalkeeper, great goalkeeper.
And favourite player overall? Just any player?
What you mean, outfield player?
Just anywhere, any club, any division,
any time frame.
Yeah, why not?
Lionel Messi. He's an absolute genius. Absolute genius. He'd be worth the admission money just to see him on the pitch.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. Very good player. No, there's no arguing with the quality that Messi possesses. Lee, favourite Sheffield Wednesday player at the minute and favourite player overall?
So it's got to be Bannon. Not much to choose from at the minute at Wednesday, but yeah, it's got to be Bannon for how much he's given the club and how good he's been in a Wednesday shirt. Overall, Ronaldo, but not the Portuguese one, the Brazilian legend. Absolutely loved him growing up as a kid. Iconic. I just wish he'd not gone off the scene as early as he did with the bad injury. But yeah, he was an absolute legend, and I used to idolise him when I was a kid.
I mean, the 2002 World Cup, it was all about him, weren't it, Ronaldo? He was an absolute genius at that time.
Unbelievable. If you've not seen the documentary about him, it's absolutely class watch.
Yeah, very, very good players there. For me, current season Doncaster Rovers player that I've kind of warmed to a lot would be Joe Ironside. I think is what we've been missing up front. Somebody who can hold it up. It reminds me so much of John Marquis, but a better version of him. And the only reason that I say that is because he must be as frustrated as what John Marquis used to get, but he doesn't show it. The toys don't go out of the pram. He just keeps going until the 90th minute. Whereas sometimes Marquis could get really frustrated and toys out at pram, and then you kind of lose him for periods of a game. You don't really get that with Joe Ironside, and the way that the ball sticks to him is unreal. It's what we've been missing. So I'm really pleased with Ironside as a player that we've signed this summer. Player overall that I really enjoyed and kind of made me fall in love with football had to be Ronaldinho. I just thought he played the game with a smile on his face. His skill was unreal, and I don't remember kind of seeing a player with that much flair before him. Obviously, you've got players with flair now that kind of showcase that and showboat, but I think he pioneered playing football that way. It was like street football, but on an 11-side pitch. It was, just unreal to watch. And I find myself sometimes when I've got a minute just sitting down and watching videos on YouTube of Ronaldinho, just kind of compilations of him absolutely tearing players to pieces.
I think the standout game for him, obviously, it's a big derby, Real Madrid, when he got applauded off the pitch by the Madrid fans.
Yeah.
How good he was on that night.
Because that shows, doesn't it, that a rivalry that kind of fierce and they're willing to applaud him off. So you don't
get that in Spanish football, because if anything, they're even more tribal over there than we are here.
Yeah.
So that was a real rarity.
Yeah. Very good player. I will just catch up with some of the comments before we move on to Bristol City Chef Wednesday. Liam Martin's going to jump on shortly, I think. Oh, he's here. We will get him in. Welcome, Liam.
Hello, how are you all?
Yeah, good, thank you. ATID is a commenter. So before we do Chef Wednesday Bristol City, Liam, we'll give you your chance to talk on the show. Talk us through Plymouth 3, Middlesbrough 3, mate. The floor is all yours to say what you want.
I mean, what a game, really. I really enjoyed it. I mean, Middlesbrough, they're really, really, really good side. I mean, in the first half, we had the chances, but Middlesbrough took their chances. One of their chances, they had Coburn. One of the chances that they took Coburn, obviously, we tried to sign him, which didn't work out. And then Mumba had a chance in the first half, which he missed. I can't remember what the goalie's name is. What is the goalie's name again?
I will get the lineups for you, mate. DM,
that's the one.
Ex-Rovers keeper.
Ex-Rovers. Fair enough. Yeah. But brilliant play by Azaz, through ball to Mumba. Then Mumba redeems himself with his goal. Then Azaz's goal, top bins, top right-hand corner. I got it on camera. It was amazing. Middlesbrough do what they do all season, really. Come out in the second half. They got a pen, which was Stonewall. Can't really deny that. Keeper saved it. Say again, Ian?
Missed it. Yeah.
Missed it, yeah. But
missed the penalty.
He missed the penalty, but Cooper couldn't get out quick enough, and it was just literally a walk-in for Coburn. That made it 2-2. And then they went 3-2 up, but our third goal was really strange because it wasn't intentional at all. It was a free kick. I think Whittaker was trying to whip it in, and it went all the way in. I was like, yes, thanks, we'll take that. And then we looked a more threatening team to win the game, and it just didn't happen in the end. I think, personally, I would take a draw. I think Middlesbrough wouldn't, because they're a team that's chasing for the playoffs. So I think a draw benefits us, really.
So I think it's one of them where, as an away team, you've scored 3 goals. You'd like to think that you'd be solid defensively and take the 3 points back up north. It's a long old trip from Plymouth to Middlesbrough.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Liam?
Go for it. Go for it.
How's Mikel Miller doing? Is he playing right wing back?
He sometimes plays right wing back, but he sometimes plays as a left back sometimes. But
okay, yeah. Is he doing okay?
He's doing really good, yeah. I really like him. So you can keep your hands off him. Thanks very much.
No, it's all right. I mean, when we had him, he was very injury prone, and I think that's why we released him. But when the games that he played for us, he was really good.
Yeah, he's been doing really well for us. I really like him.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear him. He's a nice lad as well.
100%.
Liam, ATID's put a comment in while we're talking about Plymouth and Middlesbrough. He said his summary of the game is three of the best and three of the worst goals you're likely to see yesterday. Like I said, borderline Premiership attack, non-league defence. It's going to be a long season. Rain killed the game off completely.
Would you agree?
The pitch was awful from like the 80th minute. Well, from the 80th minute onwards, it was really, really poor. Yeah. So it was like Bolton all over again.
That were all right though, that one, weren't it?
Oh, that was great. I enjoyed that.
It was the same all over the country though yesterday. The rain, it was just banging it down everywhere, weren't it?
Yeah.
We had it at New York. It just never relented. It just kept coming down.
It's funny because it was tipping it down in the stadium, and once I went out the stadium, it stopped raining. Just one of them.
Yeah. I think this is worth mentioning as well. Lewis has just put in the chat that Middlesbrough sold out 2 Devon trips in a week. Credit to the Middlesbrough fans.
They taxi too, weren't they, in the Carabao?
Yeah, spent a lot travelling this week. But final question before we let you get off, Liam. Do you think you've got enough to avoid the drop? Are you happy with the start of the season? I mean, we're just over a third of the way through now, I think, and you guys are sitting 19th, 6 points away from Rotherham. Nervous, or are you quietly confident that you'll still be a championship team next season?
I think we'll be a championship team next season, personally. I think just fix up our away form, get 1 or 2 away wins, and home form should be realistically fine, and finish around 16th, 15th. That'll do me for this season, personally. Build on for next season.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you finish 20th, Liam. It's still successful.
Yeah, I'd agree. Lee, have you got any questions for Liam before we let him get off, mate?
No, just obviously home form's going to be a massive fear. I think that's what will make you safe. You pretty much summed it up quite well there. I think Plymouth will be all right. I think they score enough goals. It's just away form that's a bit worrying, but nah, I'd swap Plymouth all day long.
I think
Ian, any final questions for Liam, mate?
No, I just think Argyle are formidable on their own home park, and I think they'll be absolutely fine. Anything 21st or higher is a successful season. So I think keep going as you are, and Argyle will be fine.
Got Leeds away on Saturday. Oh, God help me. I'm going to that.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to Leeds, yeah.
Have a safe journey, mate.
Can I ask you, what were the ticket prices?
Well, the first batch they gave us was like 45 quid for adults.
Yeah,
and then they had to reduce that to 26 because that's what we pay at home park. But I don't, because I'm a season ticket holder. But you know what I mean. So we've sold it out.
For championship. Anything 35 quid and above for championship is obscene.
Too much, isn't it?
100%. I mean, we've sold out Leeds away, so I'm really happy about that. I'm just hoping I'm not sat in a restricted view.
Yeah. Hopefully, mate, you have a safe journey and it's a positive result. Obviously, we don't like Leeds around here.
Of course you don't. You don't know many teams around there, do you?
I was going to say, I mean, they've got one of the championship standout performers in that Somerville.
Somerville's very good.
Hell of a player when he runs at you.
He's bound to score against us then.
Lovely stuff. So thank you for coming on, Liam.
No problem, mate.
It's been a pleasure having a chat with you. And obviously, Liam coming on has demonstrated to everybody else watching that we don't bite. It's very nice. If you want to come on, you can do. So, yeah, have a safe journey, Liam, and all the best for the rest of the championship season.
No worries. Same to you guys. See you later.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
So, yeah, the link to the StreamYard is in the chat. If you want to come on and have a chat about your team, even if you're a Wednesday fan, Donny fan, or a Rotherham fan, you're more than welcome to come on this 50th episode. If we run over an hour, we always do anyway. It doesn't really matter. But we will move on. Lee, talk to us. Bristol City against Sheffield Wednesday. There was positivity after the Rotherham win. Positivity around the club with Danny Rowell seeming to kind of get fans back on side. Obviously, Chansiri came out, and I think that was it this week that it came out saying that there was no money and stuff. Was it after the Rotherham game? Honestly, I don't know how you keep up with Sheffield Wednesday. I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Try and talk us through Sheffield Wednesday this week, mate.
Yeah, so we'll touch on the Chansiri thing. Yeah, it was this week. It come out. Obviously, that we'd not paid his tax bill, which anyone knows, rocket science. It's you're going down a dark road if you don't pay your taxes. You don't have to be a football club. It could be anyone in life. You've got to pay your taxes, I'm afraid. So yeah, it come out with a statement. Got everyone a bit worried. Thought it were mind games personally. Just a show of power that he's got one over the Wednesday fans, because he always puts it on us that it's all our fault. We're in the position that we're in because of the fans, which is absolute bull.
Let's face it. 20k plus every week for a struggling Championship side is incredible. It's absolutely incredible support.
Yeah, and you can't ever say that fans don't turn up, because they do. Because they travel home and away. Don't matter what position we're in, what league we're in. Wednesday fans will always back us. So he's barking up the wrong tree when he's coming to put it on the fans. But enough for Chansiri, because he absolutely blows my mind with how he's running this football club.
We've said his name too many times anyway. I'll end up cutting cord.
Yeah. But yeah, on to this one. I was slightly disappointed. Obviously, I was out on my travels yesterday, so I've not watched it. But reading along the lines, it's on the red card. It's gone on to Costa's, obviously going down to 10 men fairly early on.
After half an hour.
Yeah, and watching it, I'm a little bit mixed with it. I think, was it a red card? He's not really last man. There's still a player, and obviously the goalkeeper. Yeah, he's legged him up, but is he last man? Is he deemed as last man? I don't know. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I don't know whether he thought is it a clear goal scoring opportunity or not. Which to me it was. It was a clear goal scoring opportunity. But having said that, it's one of those decisions where if you're top of the league, you might get away with it. But if you're bottom of the league, you'll get it given against you every single time.
Yeah.
But to me, I mean, no sour grapes here, Lee, but to me it was a red.
Yeah, which fair play. If it were the other way, I'd have probably moaned the same. But yeah, and fair play to Danny Rowell. He's not really kicked off about it. It's one of them things you get rubbed with the green. Sometimes it comes your way and it don't. But overall, even down to 10 men, I thought, reading along the lines, we've performed well. And that goal was always coming, I'll be honest. Going down to 10 from 30th minute, it's always going to be an uphill task. And yeah, it's just frustrating, but we move on, and it's another positive performance, even like I said, down to 10 men. Things are moving in the right direction. I think things will pick up. Obviously, we beat Rotherham last week. Sorry, Ian, but
it's all right. Yes, fine.
It's the start.
I'm over it now.
Yeah, things are progressing and performance.
He says through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Lee. Right, 3 weeks ago, Wednesday would have lost that 5-0.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100% agree with you there.
Collapse like a deck of cards, but they've got some fight. They've got, they're fighting for the shirt. Yeah,
they are, and the ovation that Danny Rowell got at the end, the fans can see that he's putting 110% in, and they can see the performances are there. I think results will come. We just need to stick together and back him, and just hope that as owner just keeps quiet for a few months now, because we just need to knuckle down and concentrate on what's coming on the pitch, because there's some big games around the corner. Millwall at home next, which is a must win, and you can almost drag them more into it. But yeah, I'm more confident, and Danny Roll, I think, is the man to move us forward, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you
It
think
won't be easy, Millwall, though. Millwall, they're an awful side to play against. They're very physical. They've got flair players. They've got that Zim Fleming, who scores a lot of goals from midfield. They've also got Bradshaw, who can score goals. So it's not going to be easy. But I would say that Wednesday could win that one. Yeah.
I think what the pleasing thing with Danny Roll is he could have quite easily stick with that same team last week that won against Rotherham. Yeah, it's more or less the same, but he's dropped Windass and put Gasserman in and added that more pace, which fair play to him for doing that, because it's quite easy to sometimes stick to what you know and just keep that winning form. But he's obviously seen a weakness in Bristol City. Yeah, we've not got the result, but I quite like that positivity. And Windass has not been amazing this season. I think he needs to start knuckling down and book up his ideas.
I think it is, Liam.
3 match.
I think it is. I think a straight red's 3 game, innit?
Yeah. It's a big loss.
John said earlier as well. Not that one. John said earlier as well that last man isn't part of the rules anymore. It's not been for years. Stonewall red card under current laws, so it must be deemed as a goal scoring opportunity. And he's also saying it's one game. Only violent conduct gives 3-game ban. So might only be losing him for 1 game.
I didn't realise that. Yeah. Well, that's better for you, isn't it?
Yeah, but on that comment, how many times do you see someone leg someone up and just get a yellow card just because he's where he is? The amount of times I've seen them given, there were a couple today that they've just legged them up and just got that yellow card. I think it's if it's 30 yards up the pitch, he's always getting a yellow card. So I'm not really on that comment, because there was still a player and a keeper in front of him.
But he had a clear shot at goal. That's what I'm saying. He had a clear shot at goal. That's denying of a goal scoring opportunity. That's a red card.
Yeah. So disappointed, but kind of still believing that the corner is getting turned.
Yeah, the performances are there, so we can get behind it. I think with Shishko, you just couldn't see a way out of it. You just know what were coming when you were going to Hillsborough, know what you were coming against when you were going away. And yesterday I were hopeful, but no game in this league's easy. We all know that. Every game is massive, but yeah, I'm hopeful. Performances are there, so results will come.
Yeah.
There we go. Before we continue with the championship, I've just seen that Adam is in, so we will bring him in. Good evening, Adam. Are we well?
Evening. How are we all doing?
All right, mate.
Hey, Adam. You all right, mate?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good stuff.
Don't know what I'm doing here. Adam, welcome to the show. Had an absolute nightmare there. Not sure what I was doing. I was going to talk about Doncaster Rovers, Accrington Stanley, but I was out and about. I was laser questing and go-karting. I was doing everything that a 35-year-old person shouldn't be doing, but I enjoyed every minute of it. So I ended up missing this game, but you went. So great timing. We will talk about Doncaster Rovers 2, Accrington Stanley 2. We'll get onto the booing from the fans at the end. We'll have a chat about that, but talk us through the game from start to finish, just in a nutshell, how we got on, and do you think a draw was probably a fair result?
It's quite a hard one, because I thought, to be fair, I came away from it thinking, how have we kind of not won this? Because, to be fair, in the first 15, 20 minutes or so, we should have been 2 or 3 up, to be fair. Their keeper had an absolute blinder. He just made save after save from like 6 yards out. Like I think Molyneux at first one where had a chance. Keeper somehow got to it, and then we won not long after that as well. And we started so well. First 20, 25 minutes, like I say, and then Accrington kind of got into it at the end of the second half. I'd say they kind of ended the first half, on top. But yeah, pretty dominant first half. But then in the second half, it felt like we just switched off a bit, and Accrington came into it more. Luckily, we had a goal ruled offside, which I think it were offside looking at it back. But kind of warning signs had been there. They'd start to attack a bit more, and then you thought hopefully that a bit of warning sign, they'd maybe switch on a bit, and then literally a few minutes later, it was 1-1. And then luckily, it was Harrison Biggins' worldie that put us back in front, and you kind of thought hopefully we can hang on now. But then once again, a couple of minutes later, from a set piece again, Accrington got the equaliser, and now we'll go to a replay. But I'd say, to be fair, on the whole, in terms of performances, I'd probably say a draw's a pretty fair result. But in terms of chances, like I say, we shouldn't have let him have that chance to get back in, because we should have been a few up within the first 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, from all reports, it sounds like we've had enough chances to win 2 games in first half, and it's just kind of a continuing theme that we've had this season, where we've missed, not been quite good enough in the final third, and then been punished in our defensive third, which is frustrating. But I don't know if you agree with me or not. Feel free to disagree. I just think that McCann's probably got a season of building, a season of trying to develop this squad, and then I think we'll be a real big force next season if we can keep injuries under wraps and keep players fit, add a few players to this squad. Potentially in January, I think we've probably run out of money this season, but definitely in the summer when we've got another budget, a couple of shrewd additions to this squad, I think we've got a real good chance next season. Maybe this season, probably one season too early for Grant.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I say, it's going to take time with how bad we were at the end of last season to this season. It's going to take a lot of time. Even with the players from last season, it's going to, like, the hangover effect from last season still going to be on them players. It's like it took till Forest Green to get our first win. Like I say, performances have been there, but like I say, winning's a habit, losing's a habit as well. So players are kind of getting used to losing. So it kind of took that first win at Forest Green, and then, like I say, we had the performances, but the results started following that as well.
Yeah, that was just like a little bit of a springboard, weren't it, for a season? And we've been better. Still a little inconsistent, but better.
Yeah.
I mean, Accrington, they're in the playoffs, I think.
7th, I think. Yeah, I think the 7th at the minute.
Yeah, so to play so well against a team in our division, I know the FA Cup, some teams might approach it differently, but for teams our size, I think an FA Cup run financially is probably needed. So I can't see Accrington approaching this game in any other way that they normally approach a league game. So I think to get a 2-2 draw against a team that has just come down from League One, performing pretty well in League Two as well, I think it's promising for us.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hey, a question for you two. Do you know Harrison Biggins? And does he ever score tap-ins? Because they're normally worldies.
Yeah, they are normally outside of the box. Adam, question to you. Obviously, we answered it all earlier. Favourite player at the club at the minute, and then favourite probably all-time player from any club, division, country.
I'm a big fan of the logo, to be honest with you. Not just his playing, but just his attitude. I think he's the one player for me. Like, I mean, other players are getting there as well, but especially last season, even like when we were going through that awful run last year, he was always one going over to the crowd before the game, getting him like, come on, let's get going, showing him support. And you see it with him and Fowl at the end of the game as well, like coming over to the fans, giving him a fist bump at the end. And and like I said, I've met him a few times, and he's like I say, he's a decent guy on the pitch. Off the pitch, he's just exactly the same. Lovely guy. He'd talk to you all day, and I'm a big fan of Below. And all time, put me on spot here. I was a big Brian Stock fan growing up, to be fair. I don't know what I used to really like, kind of like a ball playing centre midfielder who can take it forward and score a good screamer. A bit like Biggins, to be fair, but like I say, Stock on his day were just different class, and big fan of Brian Stock growing up.
Yeah, he was very good. And what about a player outside of Doncaster Rovers? So for Ian, he went with Messi. Lee went with Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo. I've gone with Ronaldinho. What about yourself for kind of elite level players?
I know a few probably won't like this, but the one player I used to love as a kid were Gerrard. I just loved his playing style. Like I say, pretty similar to Stock, to be fair. He can score a screamer. Is, like I say, a ball playing midfielder who can just change a game by himself. Yeah. Gerrard for me.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Before we let you get off, thank you for joining us on the channel and on the show. I think we need to have a quick chat about the booing fans at Doncaster Rovers. I mean, I completely understand it at Rotherham and Sheff Wednesday because they're both shite, but we are pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Cheers, mate.
But no, seriously, I think there's a frustration from Doncaster Rovers fans that's been bubbling for seasons, and I understood it to a certain extent last season, but ultimately the players this season are putting 100% effort in. I think we are being spoiled in terms of the quality that Grant McCann and his backroom team are bringing. Obviously, yeah, there's injuries and stuff which needs addressing, but the football that I'm watching, even when we're losing games, I'm leaving the stadium not too disheartened. And I think to boo players off in that situation is just ridiculous. I'm not going to say that you're less of a fan or you're not a true fan, because everybody's entitled to their opinion. But for me, my 2 pence in this is, please just consider everything that's going into this club at the minute and everything that the players are putting in. And we're not going to win every game. We're not Man City. We're not Barcelona. We're Doncaster Rovers. And if your expectation is ridiculously high, then go somewhere else, because the negativity will have an impact on the players. By all means, have your say, have your opinion, but consider the full situation before just mindlessly booing people off the pitch. And that's my rant. Adam, you have your rant, mate, if you agree or disagree with that.
Yep, I 100% agree. I'll be honest, I didn't hear it out the game. I didn't see it until I went on Twitter later on and heard it. And to be fair, I weren't sure if people were having me on at first. I just don't get it. It's one of them. I mean, cast your mind back to start of May last year. I were at Walsall away when, we just lost 2-1 at last game at season. It were pretty awful, to be fair. And I've got booed off the pitch there. And to be fair, probably rightly so, in my opinion. But look at a contrast from start of May to where we are now. Like, the football is hundreds of times better. That's not an exaggeration. We've got a manager who, let's be honest, at League Two, we're lucky to have. We're so lucky to have him. Players we've brought in, players we've got, players we've kept from last season. Absolutely superb. And to be fair, I think football seems to have fans who've got the most shortest memory, you'll ever see, because literally we've, like I say, we've gone on a decent run. We've climbed up the table, playing some of the best football I've seen in probably since COVID. And you're booing it. I mean, I get the frustration. We should have won, but what's the point? What good is it going to do? I mean, all it's going to do is frustrate the manager, frustrate the players, which you can see it has done. It's going to, like I say, divide the fans. Like, I think this season's been the most together I've seen Rovers in a long time, and it's just going to put everyone down. It's just not achieving anything. And like I say, give your head a bit of a wobble if you've done that, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't get it.
Yeah, completely agree. Lee, any questions for Adam before we let him get off, mate?
Where do you foresee Donny finishing this season, Adam?
At the minute, I'd probably say somewhere between outside playoffs and top half. I think we'll get into the top half. It's just the consistency. Like I say, it's getting better, but it's that like a consistency at the minute, which will come in time. That's why I think I agree with Dapper a bit. I think next season will be a force, because, like I say, give all them players time to play together and get manager time, and we'll be a top team next year. As for this year, it's hard, because I do think we can make it into top 7, but it's more about the other teams. I mean, Stockport, like I say, Stockport, Wrexham, Mansfield, they're all flying at the minute, and it's not across the whole week, it's the other teams as well. So I'd say between I'd say between bottom at top half and around the playoffs, probably just outside.
Yeah, I went 10th early on, and
I think 10th's a good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian, any questions for Adam before we let him go?
No, when you run about fans having short memories, every team, every club that you support have got an element of the support, and they are fickle, John. I agree with you there completely. There were murmurs around New York yesterday because it was such a poor game, but we got a point out of it. We got a shift out the players. I came away from the ground really satisfied. But you do get fans that can't understand why they can't win every week. It's just, unless, like Dan said earlier, unless you're Manchester City or you're Real Madrid, you're not going to get that. You're going to,
I think some people as well think they can do a better job of the manager at the minute. It's like, you hear people that stand, it's like, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? It's like, well, you'll be on the touchline and try it yourself then, because it's probably not as easy as you think it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It might sound really daft, but wouldn't it be boring if you won every game?
No.
I mean, I saw that tweet about that young lad who was about 11, and he'd been to like every City home and away match. I think over 270 games, something like that, and he's only seen 12 losses. It's like, probably seen that in 27.
I think the big thing with that, we're Man United fans. I think a lot of their fans have not seen these times where the older sort they've had the dark times before the Ferguson era and whatnot. I think fans just forget it's like the now, and that's why a lot don't really support the local club. They just go for the bright lights of the bloody Premier League with your cities and whatnot.
It's like when you get the odd tweet from a Premier League fan saying, "Oh, these are the darkest days I remember," and the fifth from bottom of the Premier League. They haven't lived. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You try finishing.
John just said you've got to have pain to enjoy your success, and that's massive. You have more pain than what you have.
That's right.
Success,
I mean, let's face it, Dan, and I don't know if you're old enough, Adam, to remember Rovers' non-league days when they got relegated. Yeah, when they got, I think it was 97, 98 when they went down. Am I right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was 10 to 15 years old when we were in the.
And I remember walking out of Bellevue after around about Christmas. Rotherham had beat them 3-0 in what was, I think it was the fourth tier. I don't know what they called it. They might have called it League 3 or Division 3 then. And I just thought, this club's dying.
Yeah.
Doncaster Rovers is dying. And obviously then you got John Ryan and everything took off again. But I would say probably 40 to 50% of the support don't remember those days.
No.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So, yeah.
Lovely stuff. So, Adam, give your channel a shout out, mate, and let us know what the plans are over the season. So, this is your opportunity to plug.
Yep. So, I've just started a YouTube channel about start of this year. So it's basically going to football games. Usually go to about 2 a week. So, following Rovers home and away, and then if Rovers aren't playing or it's an away game, I might have done or don't fancy it. I'll either ground up or go to like the local non-league games and try and give them a bit of coverage. I've also just started a show called Friday Football Fix, where we'll get it's me and my girlfriend Lizzie, who were in the comments earlier, and so either us two or we'll try and get a guest on as well. And we'll basically talk over the basically what's been happening in that week, so like the main stories, and then we'll have a few topics that maybe are lesser known, so maybe some non-league stuff or a story that's been in news that isn't as well known as like the main things on BBC Sport, and then maybe a few debates and stuff like that over a few topics. So yeah, first episode's just gone live on my channel last Friday. The next one will be this Friday, obviously. And yeah, we'll see how it does.
I'll tell you this, Adam, I really enjoy your non-league stuff. It's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all right. I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to film because it's like it's like you say with all these Prem teams complaining. It's like you go down to like my local team's Rossington, Maine, and there's all other clubs, and so like I say, it's all run by volunteers. £5 to get in.
Yeah.
Like I say, volunteers behind like the clubhouse and stuff like that. All players know the fans. Like everyone just knows everyone. It's basically a community. It's what's missing.
I live a goal kick away from Maltby Main.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Maltby Lane, North Counties East. What?
Have you tried a goal kick?
What, with me? I'd pull something. But yeah, so yeah, North Counties East, and if it's a pleasant evening or something like that, I'll go and watch them.
Yeah.
I've been once this season so far, but you're right what you said. It's all run by volunteers. I mean, we've even got a guy that goes around Maltby Main sometimes with plate of sandwiches, handing them to fans.
Yeah.
It's absolutely superb.
I'll get down there then.
I won't trust Maddie from Maltby.
Especially if they're measuring distances by goal kicks.
How far is that away? Oh, about 6 goal kicks, that. Right, Adam, we will let you get off, mate.
You turn your watch back to 1977 and you'll come to Maltby.
keep up the good work, Adam, mate. You're smashing your channel, pal.
Yeah,
thanks
keep it up, pal.
No problem. Thanks a lot for having me on.
No, thank you for coming on. Have a good evening.
No problem. You too.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
John's come in the chat. If you're doing Blues Ipswich, I can join if you still have time. We always have time, mate. This was episode 50. I am more than happy to let it run a little bit longer. I've got to be up in the morning though, so not too much longer. So we'll head to Birmingham Ipswich when John joins. The link to the StreamYard is in the chat, so join us and we will talk Birmingham Ipswich. Before then, though, Ian, is there any other games that you want to touch upon, mate?
Yeah, the worrying forms for a couple of championship sides. Norwich, for one, they seem to have fallen off a cliff. I mean, early season, they were everybody's tipped to be at least playoff candidates, but the form at the moment's awful. I mean, 21 shots
to go,
possibly, yeah, possibly. Because it's just not happening. I mean, they're conceding goals for fun. I mean, Smodics is a really, really good player for Blackburn. He's been a real star, really. I think he came from Peterborough, didn't he, to Blackburn?
He did, yes.
Attacking midfielder. He got 2 again today. He got 2 for Blackburn when they played at our place, and I was really impressed with him.
And he missed a pen.
Yeah.
Very good player.
Yeah, Norwich, really worrying form. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, Delia and company not frightened of the trigger finger. I think it might be on his last legs.
Let's be having you.
One manager that I think will survive is Mark Robbins at Coventry, even though they did lose again at Preston.
Hold that thought, because John is now in.
Oh, right, okay.
Good evening, John. Welcome to the show.
Evening, gentlemen.
Nice
hello.
to have you on, mate, and nice to put a face to the name.
Indeed.
So you wanted to come on and chat Birmingham Ipswich, mate. So the floor is entirely yours. Obviously, this is the first point that Wayne Rooney has won. Am I correct?
Yeah, first point on the board for Wazza and his boys. To be fair, I did really fear the worst. Obviously, losing 3 on the spin. Performances have been terrible, to be brutally honest. It was slightly better against Southampton, but I mean, that's a big straw grasp. So with Ipswich's away form, I didn't see anything from this game. So was rather shocked at the performance. First half, absolutely exceptional. But I also, it's not a lot of surprise where we got Ethan Laird back from injury. It was his first game back since August, and he was sublime again, which allowed us to play Cody Drama at left back, even though he's not a left back, but the normal left back we have, utterly useless, sadly. And he's been at fault for about 5 goals in God knows how many games. So yeah, it was really good and good football too. pressed Ipswich really hard. The problem was we just ran out of legs. Rooney had actually said a few times in his pressers before the game that he was concerned that the squad wasn't fit enough for what he wanted to do, and we kind of saw prime examples of that, really, where we just, by about 70 minutes, we literally were on our last legs. Laird had to go off because he's only just been back from injury. We brought on Djukovic, who, bless him, Djukovic is Djukovic, you know. I could run faster than him.
He seems to have been around forever.
Yeah,
I think I've been watching football now for 30 years. I'm sure he's been in a team for every single year of those 30 that I've been watching football.
Yeah, but stick a ball in the box, they'll get on the end of it.
Yeah, it was kind of ironic against Southampton, where, of course, Rooney's been coming out and saying we want to play possession-based football and we want to, be good on the eye, no fear football. And the first goal under Rooney came from a long punt to Djukovic to flick it on for Stansfield, which was kind of ironic. But no, I was really gutted. Yeah, I was really gutted with the Ipswich game, because I'll be honest, they looked all right, but for probably 70 minutes we really contained them, and they didn't really have too much. I mean, they had a few chances, but you just kind of thought if we could get to sort of 80 minutes we'd be all right, but we just couldn't hold on. And as soon as that first goal went in, they had all the momentum, and sadly you feared it was coming, and it did. So
yeah. Do you feel like with that last 10 minutes or so, then with running out of steam and Ipswich tails up, probably happy to come away with a draw? Because I've been in similar situations with Doncaster where you seem in control of the game, and then 2-0. It's a cliche, but it's a dangerous scoreline, isn't it? If you score one, it kills the game. If they score one, it can flip completely. Or do you feel like when it went to 2-2, you were still kind of in control to get something from the game?
I'll be honest, at 2-0, I think it was Ollie Burke had a great chance, which he should have really buried. And if that, obviously 3-0, it's game over. But Ipswich, certainly in the second half, the manager didn't say as much, but I thought they would have got definitely a rocket at halftime, because they came out second half really at it. Yeah. And it was, at 2-2, luckily they didn't score to the 89th minute, but there was only one winner of that game at 2-2, and it was them. But to be fair, when they scored the equaliser, it seemed to take a bit out of them, and both teams kind of, even though it was about 7 minutes injury time, it was kind of like both teams went, yeah, we'll take a point. So it's kind of from that point, no one really did anything. But I would have absolutely snatched your hand off for a point at the start of the day. By the end of the game, I kind of was gutted. You 2-0 up with 15 minutes to go, you expect to win the game, really. But as we all said going into the game, performance was key. We had to see a better performance from the previous 3 games, and thankfully we saw a massive improvement on the performance.
Good stuff. Ian, do you have any questions for John, mate?
2. Hi, John.
All right.
First of all,
always got loads of stuff to say, haven't you?
First of all, how far do you live away from ground with a goal kick?
I live about 15 goal kicks away from ground.
First of all, how's St Andrews coming along, stadium-wise?
It's doing all right, actually. The bottom tilting, which is the home goal end, is done. The bottom of the cot, which is the side stand, it's pretty much half done now. But I think the target was to have it completed by end of November. But they are so far along that I would imagine I'd be very surprised if it isn't near enough completed by after the international break. So I think it's
good. That's good news, yeah. And secondly, Jay Stansfield seems to have made a really good leap up from League One to Championship, scoring plenty of goals. How pleased are you on his progress?
I have to say I was pleasantly surprised, because obviously you hear a lot about these sort of players that have done well in League One on loan and stuff, but you don't know whether they can make the step up. And straight from the off, he's been a breath of fresh air, really. I mean, his first touch and his pace is great. Ironically, we have been playing him sort of, or Eustace before he left was playing him in the number 9 role, and all the fans were clambering, myself slightly included, that he's got to play number 9. Didn't score a goal while he's played number 9. Was worked hard and played well, but he always seems to be more effective when he plays just off a front man or on either flank. And on Saturday, Rooney played Burke up front on his own, which was a bit of a shock, but it worked. And Burke and Stansfield kind of just played around him, and it really, really worked. So, but no, he's been really good at the moment. He is kind of our goal scorer at the moment. But I hope that doesn't continue, because you can't expect a young lad to carry the can for that.
Yeah.
Lee, any questions for John?
Yeah, even John, mate. Nice to put a name to the face, buddy. Are you on board with Rooney? Obviously, a lot. You knew this question would come in.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm undecided. I will truthfully admit he wasn't my choice, shall we say. I wasn't necessarily against the getting rid of Eustace. I think the timing was poor, but there were other aspects. Eustace, the media made a big thing about Eustace went when we were 6th, but we were 3 points off 15th. So it's kind of like it wasn't like we were 6th and 5 points clear of 7th. But no. Rooney, I sort of when Eustace went, I expected somebody with a bit more of a track record and somebody with a bit more experience coming. So he wasn't top of my list. I think the only thing I'm grasping to really is that the coaching team they brought in with Ashley Cole, John O'Shea, and some of the other coaches, he's got good people around him. And if Saturday's performance is anything to go by, we've got to stick with him. So we will see. I mean, it's one of those where I think the board and the ownership are going to back him. He'll be backed in January to a certain extent. And if he does manage to see out the season, we don't fall off the rails completely, I think he'll be given a fair chunk of money in the summer. So,
yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you for your time this evening, John. Is there anything that you would like to plug? Any channel or Twitter page or anything where you get your opinions out there?
I'm literally just on Twitter these days. I can't even remember my Twitter handle, to be brutally honest. But I'm sure if you search for anything Birmingham, you'll see me, waffling absolute rubbish somewhere along the line. So
hey, it makes us all feel better, mate, doesn't it?
All rubbish, keep on.
It's mostly rubbish, but yeah.
But no, thank you for coming on, mate. Have a good rest of your Sunday evening and a good week next week, and hopefully a win for Birmingham next Saturday.
Hopefully, because we're live on telly. So,
we will see. Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Cheers, guys.
Mate.
All right. Lovely stuff. If anybody else wants to come on, we will be on for around another half an hour or so. We've still got the FA Cup to touch upon. Ian, you were talking about Coventry. Just a quick roundup on Coventry. We'll check the table out and then we'll move on to FA Cup.
Well, yeah, Coventry, like Norwich, seem to have fallen off the cliff a little bit. Fantastically talented squad, obviously missing Hamer and Gyökeres, but they just seem to be conceding a lot of goals and losing games that really last season they would have won. I don't know what's going off there at Cov, but it probably seems to be just a lack of confidence, and they're really, really low down in the table. But I think I can't see Mark Robins going from there because of what he's done for the club in the past. And I think he'll get it right eventually. Yeah. But it is worrying times for Coventry.
I did read somewhere, though, that I think it's 22 games that Preston and Coventry have faced each other where Coventry haven't come away with a win from it. So it's a bit of a bogey team on this one. But
yeah, well, we always have, but every team's got the bogey clubs, haven't they? Every. I mean, we can.
Unfortunately, we've got 71, Donny.
Ours used to be Chesterfield.
Yeah.
When they were a football league club, we could never beat Chesterfield, no matter where we were in the table or anything. There were a joke about putting blue shirts on 11 dustbins and they'd beat us. But yeah, every club have got teams that they struggle against.
Yeah,
I mean, I bet Wednesday have got them and all, that they can never beat. Yeah,
yeah, plenty, mate.
Can you think of anybody, Lee?
Beer or bloody night here, mate, listing that.
Yeah.
Be quick at listing teams that they can beat.
Yeah,
Rotherham.
I set myself up for that one, didn't
Yeah.
Oh dear. Makes me chuckle sometimes. Table before we move on. So we'll start at the bottom. Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, and Rotherham make up the bottom three. We've had the conversation. We think that Huddersfield are potentially catchable, but a big turnaround in form is needed down at the bottom end of the table.
Yeah.
Obviously, Coventry and Norwich are in rough runs of form, both winless in the last 5, 4 defeats and a draw. It's not great reading, is it? Moving towards the top of the table, Leicester finally defeated. Leeds ended their run of form on Friday night. Ipswich, with the draw, remained second with a decent gap between them and Leeds. But I think ATID believes that Ipswich will be mid-table by May, so he's expecting a fall-off over the next couple of months. Playoffs, Leeds, Southampton, West Brom and Preston. The win on Saturday moves them back up to 6th after an incredible start, and then 8 games without a win ended on Saturday, pulled them back into the playoffs. On to the FA Cup. So I thought we'd have been on this about half an hour ago, but here we go. Lee, you went to Lincoln Morecambe, so let's find that. It may take me a while because there's a lot of games, so feel free to start talking about it while I find it.
Yeah, a very wet day at Lincoln. First trip to Lincoln, first trip to the stadium. I think the fans were thinking, obviously, we know manager, that there were obviously links with numerous names, but this was a bit of a distraction, the cup. Coming into it, I was interested to see how both sides fared. Obviously, Morecambe on a decent run of late. Lincoln not too great, but they're a decent outfit. So yeah, we're interested to see how these two fare. Lincoln getting the early goal first half. You thought it was going to be one winner, but they seemed to not really capitalise on that. They had the chances, but then at times fans were getting quite frustrated where they had chances to really get at Morecambe, but they went backwards a lot. Fans were getting quite frustrated. Obviously, yeah, sometimes you have to go back, but it felt like they always went back to that option where they kept going back to the defenders, even the goalkeeper. But Morecambe then crept into that. Obviously, we're getting a little bit of confidence, a couple of chances, and then getting a goal before half time, which is absolutely massive. And then Morecambe, probably out of 2, deserved the win going into that second half. They get the goal, and probably could have been a few more chances with a number 7 creeping in around the back post and keeper making some decent saves. But yeah, credit to Morecambe. They play some really neat stuff, and I was quite impressed with him, especially showing character going 1-0 down. And Lincoln, you know, it's a tough place to go for any team. But I was really impressed with Morecambe. I thought they played some neat stuff. I did both sides, but I think Lincoln just needed to get at Morecambe a little bit more. It was a bit negative, but without a manager, they've not got really a direction. So until then, I think it's going to be always tough. But yeah, Morecambe I was impressed with, and overall I probably shaded it with that second half. Yeah, he is, yeah. But yeah, overall probably deserved it, and like I say, I think Morecambe certainly on that show, and he'll be definitely in the mix in League 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Actually, Lee, they played us in the Carabao, and we only just got past them on penalties, and they looked a very good side then.
Yeah,
I'm quite impressed with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Danny's come on the chat asking if he can join for Accrington. Adam Gittins has beat you to it, mate. We've already covered Donny Accrington. But if you are going to Wimbledon next week, I am more than happy to have a bit of a phone in next week for some games, because I've quite enjoyed having different people pop in and have 5 minutes. So yeah, that might be something that we consider doing for future episodes. So you're more than welcome on next week for sure. Ian, any FA Cup games that you want to touch on?
Well, there's only one really that really stands out, and that's Swindon Town 4, Aldershot 7. What the hell happened there? Because at one stage, Aldershot was 7-0 up.
There were indeed.
I mean, they're a mid-table conference side. Swindon, decent League Two side going for promotion. I don't know what happened. I mean, I have seen a match day vlog about it from a Swindon fan, and they were just looked stunned that every time that Aldershot went over the halfway line, they seemed to score.
Yeah,
and then all right, Swindon pulled 4 back, but at 7-0, I mean the game's won, isn't it? That was a really massive shot. That. I mean, not so much Aldershot with him; it was just the manner of it. They scored. I think it's. I don't know what the records are, but I can't ever remember a non-league side scoring 7 goals away at a EFL side. Never remember it.
No, I can't.
We're just absolutely startling.
But yeah, an hour in, an Aldershot 7-0 up. It's.
I mean, there were 3-0 up in 9 minutes.
Yeah. Do you think Swindon have just approached it completely wrong and expected an absolute
possibly
walkover of the game?
Lot of clubs do.
Yeah,
a lot of clubs do. They don't respect the opposition, and if you don't respect the opposition, that's right. If you don't respect the opposition, you're onto a hiding to nothing anyway.
Yeah, you are indeed. But
you do get results like this in the first couple of rounds at FA Cup. Even in the third round,
I think if you'd not seen the scoreline though, looking at these stats, it's relatively even, isn't it? It's just, I think Aldershot have just put absolutely everything away.
Yeah.
I
mean, 9 shots on target and 7 goals.
Yeah. What, like ATID says, Swindon getting pumped by a non-league team that may not exist in 2 weeks' time. I hope they do. What an amazing time to be alive.
Swindle.
But yeah, we don't want to see any club go under. So hopefully they are still around, and maybe this FA Cup win is just what they needed to help them survive. I mean, they've already gone under once, haven't they?
Yeah.
This is a Phoenix club from last time. So yeah, absolutely incredible.
I think you were talking more about Swindon failing to exist because they've got a lot of financial difficulties as well.
Have they?
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I think they're selling the first team shirts at half price now before Christmas.
That's not.
I think they're trying to get some money in and quick. But that's what I read anyway.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is Swindon. Trouble with the HMRC. Aldershot is fine with. Lee, you have been around the grounds, obviously. You went to Lincoln on Saturday, and you went to Chesterfield today. So you have been all over the shop. No wonder you're not well. You need to have a break. Talk us through this one.
I do need to have a break. Yeah, one day I'm back out on Tuesday night.
You can't wait till summer.
No, this were a fixture probably out of the old FA Cup first round draw that looked quite tasty on card. On the when the draw was made, obviously both flying high, both top of the leagues in the respective leagues. And it potential to be a little cup upset, and it proved that way. From the off, Chesterfield really got at Pompey, closed them down, got in the faces, and didn't allow Pompey to impose the game on Chesterfield. And I was seriously impressed with Chesterfield. Obviously, the pumping teams for fun in the National League. They're not top for a reason, and they're a really good outfit. And Cookie's got them playing some absolutely amazing stuff. The players are playing for the shirts. and I can't see them not getting promoted back to the Football League if that's how they're playing every week, because I'm really impressed with them. In a case of maybe Pompey just caught off guard. I don't think they're watching the game. I don't think they really caused Chesterfield any problems. I don't know if you guys watch on telly. I can't recall a real clear-cut effort that caused the keeper any problems. But I think that's credit to Chesterfield for not allowing that with the press. Everyone played for that shirt, and overall they certainly deserve that win. And it probably could have been more than one with Chesterfield. I think they had a few more chances. Yeah, Dobra's really good player. I think at times though he cuts inside and maybe needs to get his shot off earlier. But yeah, I'm seriously impressed with Chesterfield, as was our last season. We watched him in that National League fan. I think they were seriously unlucky not to go up.
Weren't they? They were very unlucky against Notts County.
But they've regrouped this year, and it looks like they're gonna put that disappointment behind them. And Chesterfield go marching into round 2, and I believe.
Well, didn't we say after the Wembley final? Didn't we say Chesterfield could go on either two ways? They could either sulk about it and end up mid-table, or it could galvanise them, and it seemed to have the galvanising effect.
Exactly.
I watched it on TV, and I thought Chesterfield were exceptional.
They were, yeah. From minute one, they were. I mean, even the kick-off, they play it back to the keeper, and Will Grigg closed him down. I thought they were going to score, because it looked like, where I was saying, it looked like he closed it down and it was going in, but it's obviously, that sort of set the precedence for the game. I think that were massive, and the crowd were fantastic in there today, over 8,000. And really got behind the team, and credit to Chesterfield, muchly deserved today.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that I found with the FA Cup this weekend is there's questions over the magic of the cup. Is it still there? I think to a certain extent it's not, especially when you get a tie like Donny got, a team in the same division as you. It's not really, there's not really much to get up about, is there? But games like this, and you've seen is it Cape Valley Paper Mill or
Cape Valley Paper Mills have got a draw?
Yeah, they've got a draw at Charlton. They're moments that them fans will never forget. And I think the magic of the FA Cup is still there. It's just the look of the draw if you get that tie, which kind of galvanizes the community and gets people up for it, isn't it?
Yeah, I absolutely love the cup, and I asked the question to everyone I interviewed over the weekend: is the magic of the cup still there? A few give answers. Obviously, the bigger clubs, when they come to it, they don't play the teams that where as you used to back in the day, like Newcastle when they went to Stevenage back in the day. That always sticks out in my memory when I was a little lad. Games like that, I absolutely love the FA Cup. It's massive for clubs financially if they get that glamour tie. Yeah. Chesterfield's had their runs, and obviously it's massive for them. They're going around too, and with teams like Cray, they've got the draw and they go back to their place, and it's just a massive cash flow that can really sort the season out. And it will just little stuff like you see the FA Cup, like there was a guy in the interview today, he's holding the bloody FA Cup with his silver titties. Yeah, it's just
that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
I absolutely love the FA Cup. It's just brilliant. And in this game, it was stark contrast to the Lincoln game. It didn't feel like a cup game. It was just, I think Lincoln maybe treated a bit friendly. It had that vibe, but this with fantastic atmosphere. It felt like that cup atmosphere, and it was brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, it's split the comments, to be fair. I mean, John's come in and said he's forgot the last time he cared about the FA Cup as a Blues fan, which is it is a sad thing to say, because I think the FA Cup is hands down the best
Cup competition.
Yeah, cup competition.
Domestic, yeah.
Domestic. Thank
cup,
you, Ian.
yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Left me hanging for a little bit, but we'll take it. But I don't know of any other competition in the world that allows non-league teams to compete, and I think they're the ones where it shows the magic of the cup for me. ATID said that if it gets top 6 Prem, home or away, then yeah. And I think probably the higher up the pyramid you go, you need the higher teams to get that rush. Whereas Burton, he's come from a non-league background, so the FA Cup special. So I think for lower league teams, the FA Cup magic is definitely there. Neil's in.
You get memories that'll never fade.
Yeah,
memories that'll never fade.
Yeah.
I think what disappoints me with some teams, with the FA Cup, it's a lot different to the Carabao, is it's played on a weekend and not in midweek. So there's not really an excuse not to field a strong side.
Yeah.
You get teams like, I'll touch on it in Premier League, Tottenham, frustrates the hell out of me where they don't play the strongest side and really go for the FA Cup, because it's a massive competition and something you should be striving for every year to win. And it just frustrates me when you see a starting lineup and they're just not treating it how they should, especially because you get that break from your league fixtures.
Yeah.
Didn't Spurs the other year play away at Marine, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Two or 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was incredible. That.
Yeah.
You know, when they were all watching it out the bedroom windows and whatnot. That's what the cup's all about.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, for me, I think this year, especially the first round tie that we've got, I've not really felt the magic of the FA Cup personally linked to my club. But I do feel it when you look at Horsham coming back and drawing 3-3 at Barnsley, and you watch that. I can
remember a vlog that you did, Dan, a couple of years ago when you played at Chorley.
Chorley, yeah, we had to fight to get a draw there.
Yeah, didn't you beat them something like 7-0 in the replay or something?
Yeah, but I felt the magic then, because I think we tied against a non-league team, and I think that's where it comes from me. I think it's probably just fell a little bit flat for me because it's 2 League Two teams.
True enough.
As a football fan, watching Horsham equalise against Barnsley, I know Barnsley are a local club, so it makes it sweeter. But you can just what them emotions that the fans are going through in a way and just going absolutely crazy. Same with Charlton against Cray. I mean, looking at this, you've got Slough 1, Grimsby 1. Results that you wouldn't expect. There were another one.
Yeah, but these are massive money spinners for non-league clubs, aren't they? Massive.
Yeah, they are indeed. I mean, one that jumped out for me this weekend was, when I find it, Scarborough. Yes,
Scarborough. Yeah,
Scarborough getting a return against Forest Green. So going to a league club and managing to get something. I mean, Ramsgate, they're 8th tier, and they've come against National League Woking and come away with a win. So I think the magic of the cup is still there.
With Ramsgate, the scenes in the changing room as well. The fans, the players, absolutely buzzing.
Yeah,
it's memories for them players. They'll never get this opportunity again to relive these moments. And
yeah, I mean, Ramsgate players are probably going to be working in a warehouse on Monday or something, talking about it.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. And I was in the team that got to the FA Cup second round. That's massive for them.
You were,
for part-time.
I
meant a player from Ramsgate. If he can go out, he can dine out on that for weeks and weeks and weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll never forget memories like that.
Yeah. Before we have a look at any other games, we've got a couple of comments in. Neil said, "Is Joey Barton really going to be announced as the Bradford manager tomorrow? Announcement due in the morning." So could be Joey Barton at Bradford. ATID, it's true, scoring against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge is a memory I won't forget. Contrast that with a 5-1 loss to Grimsby, then it's 50-50.
I watching one today with Bradford when they beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge 3-2.
4-2.
4-2, that were it. Yeah, they were 2-0 down. Absolutely insane. That's what makes the FA Cup so special. I absolutely love it. That's why I've got my hat on.
It's nothing to do with 50th episode. It's because it's FA Cup special.
I bet people are tuning up. Going, what has he got on?
What we come into here. Right, lads. Any other games that you want to touch on before we have a look at the predictions?
Just massive shout out to all the non-league sides that have run the blood to water and got a result. And even those that haven't, it's been a day they'll never forget.
Do you have the draw?
Yeah, they've drawn it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Second round draw. Oh no, it's going to say
to be decided. Yeah.
Yeah. So these will be from these, won't they?
Yeah.
So obviously
Chesterfield have got Leighton Orient at home.
Yeah.
Do you know who Blackpool have got?
It's winning of some replay. I don't know what.
Cheers for narrowing it down.
Aldershot home to Stockport. That'll be a tasty one, that.
Let's go through the games that haven't got a replay to be decided. So Aldershot have drawn Stockport at home. Eastleigh against Reading. So they're two good draws for those two. Wickham are at home to Morecambe. Chesterfield have got Leighton Orient at home, which is a great draw. Newport have got Barnet, so a decent one for Barnet there, potential good money spinner. Gillingham to be decided. Wimbledon have got Ramsgate, so another good one for a non-league team. Notts County against Shrewsbury. Maidstone have got Barrow. Bolton have got Harrogate. Wrexham have got Yeovil. Couple of replayed teams in there. Cambridge have got Fleetwood. Alfreton have got Walsall.
That'll be a good one as well.
York City or Chester play Wigan at home if they win their ties.
Where's Peterborough? Oh, that'll be that one.
They're in the first round replay.
Yeah, Peterborough Salford versus Doncaster or Accrington. That'll be that one. But yeah, it'd been nice if they'd have put it on there, but there we go. Right.
You are on there, Dan. It's TBD against TBD.
So we will get this up. Predictions are all in from this week. Wasn't a good week for anybody, apart from Ian and Adam. Both you guys got 4 points, so that has done wonders for your league positions. So in the league, MTFC.
Right.
Yeah. MTFC remains top. Ian, you're 1 point behind him on 37. Liam Martin on 37 in third. Neil and Bailey drop down, both on 36 and 34 respectively. I stay in sixth on 32. Adam moves to 7th on 32 points. And then Jake and Lee drop down on 30 and 29 in 8th and 9th. ATID moves up to 10th on 26 points, along with Lewis and Christian in 11th and 12th. And then 13th down to 20th. Everybody stays the same with Lizzie, Burton, Jonathan, John, Worko, Abaddon, Charlie, and Lolo de Wednesday. So this week's predictions, we will start with Ian. They're on the side. Chef Wednesday versus Millwall. What are we going with, mate?
I'm going with Wednesday 2, Millwall 1.
I have gone with a 1-1 draw in that one. Watford, Rotherham?
Watford 2, Rotherham 1.
I've gone 2-0 that one. Sorry, Ian.
That's all right. I'm going Fleetwood 2, Exeter 0.
I've gone 1-1 with that one.
AFC Wimbledon 2, Doncaster 1.
I've gone the same with that one. Wimbledon are doing really well this season.
Yeah, I'm going Newport 1, MK Dons 1.
I've gone with a win for MK Dons 2-1. Lee, go through those, mate.
Wednesday 1-1.
Yep.
Watford 1-0.
Yep.
Fleetwood 1-1.
Yep.
AFC Wimbledon 3-2.
Yep.
And MK Dons to win 2-0.
2-0. Lovely stuff. As always, everybody who's involved, or if you want to get involved, get your predictions in. We've got a couple of comments that have come in. Lewis was hoping that predictions weren't done this week. I don't think he's had a go. No, he got no points. It's happened to us all, mate. And Lolo de Wednesday has asked, where's our Jake? Not entirely sure, to be honest. He said that he was 50-50 about coming on. And obviously it was the other 50 because he's not on.
The other 50.
So please get your comments in for your predictions. Seeing a few coming in already, and I will get them put into the table as the week goes on. But yeah, we've run for 90 minutes. We've talked about how far things are in goal kicks. We've gone through the Championship. We've gone through the FA Cup. And do you know what? I've really enjoyed having some of you viewers who have been comfortable and confident enough to come on and have a chat. I think it's broke it up really well. And it's give a different perspective on your club. So that may be a feature that we bring in maybe every 10th episode, something like that. So give you guys an opportunity to come on and have a say about your club, because you know it much better than what we do. We just ramble a load of rubbish about our clubs and every other club, really. So I'll go around the screen. Any final words? We'll start with Lee.
No, enjoyed it. 50th episode, absolute class. I echo what I said in the start of this. Credit to you, Dan, because you run it so smoothly and so well.
I didn't last week.
Well, yeah, but we'll blame the internet providings on that one. Yeah, love that, Dan. I just noticed that it's coming on strong, mate.
Tell you what, you need to do yours, mate. Full handlebar.
Mate, tell you, if I did mine, I'd be sleeping in car. No, but absolute massive credit to you, Dan, because we just here to talk crap, but you absolutely run things like a dream. The work you put into it's absolutely unbelievable, and long live the 72 review.
Yeah.
Flying, mate, aren't we? 50 episodes, hopefully another 50. And Burton echoes that. Look forward to the other 50. So do I. Ian, any final comments, mate?
Yeah, we've tried something different today, and it seems to have worked, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's nice to get different fans' perspectives, and it's just run like a dream today, unlike last week, which was nothing to do with anybody. But yeah, it's been a great one. Really enjoyed it.
No, so have I. And that brings us to the end. So it's been a decent episode. Yeah, we're into injury time at the end of the second half now. So I think this is a good time to round it off. And thank you all for watching.
A long goal kick coming up.
Yeah. Lumping forward to big lump at the top. But no, we will be back
trying that now, you know.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
At work, mate, I'm going to use that as a term of measurement. Whenever I work in a wood mill, so if somebody asks us for a piece of timber, I'm going to call it like half a goal kick or something.
Yeah.
But no, we will be back next week. I hope you've enjoyed the show. If you're watching this during the week, please pop some comments in, and I will try to reply to all of them. We do appreciate every viewer, every comment. It does mean a lot to us. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it, stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe to myself, Lee, Ian, Adam, who's come on, Jake, who's normally on. All the links will be in the description down below. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.